three right away. Just attack the basket. James catches, puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Welcome to the Ultimate Super Coach and Fantasy Sports Show. You are now listening to the Insight Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Boom shakalaka!
Hello and welcome back to the Inside NBA Show. Wednesdays is the Midweek Grit and Grind, a weekly show previewing and reviewing the games every week. As always, we are brought here today by the Standard Squeeze, Ryan from Astute Newstead, and Fantasy Scores. I'm the Supercoach Mattrix, and today I'm here with Filthy IFS. Skiddy, how are you, mate? How's your day?
Oh, fantastic, mate. How good. NBA is back. We love to see it. I was driving around all day trying to get me jobs done, and I just had the NBA on every single time. Don't worry, I was being responsible. It was slid away, but I was listening to the audio for it, catching the game when I could. So two absolute ripping games today as well to start off. I thought they were two fantastic games. I love the Who's Your Daddy chants by the Nuggets. Who's your daddy? That is brilliant by them. So hats off to them. They got their rings as well. So fantastic. And then we had another great game in Golden State with Phoenix knocking them over as the underdogs. So yeah, let's get stuck into it, Matty boy.
Yeah, and this show is brought to you by Fantasy Scores, helping you level up your fantasy comps by giving you the analytics you need to punk categories, assess player value, find the right sleepers when it comes to your drafts. But now that that's over, it has a trade assessment button. So it lets you know who is good for your build. So maybe a guy is like the 70th best player. Somebody's looking to get rid of him. But you start to work your build the way that you drafted in. And he might be the 40th best player. So it helps you get fantastic value for your build. If you use the code INSIGHT at fantasyscores.com, you can get yourself $5 off. And of course, the Standard Squeeze have been our long-time sponsors. They're always helping us out. This is actually some of Sato's home brew, actually. The owner of the Standard Squeeze. So I tell you what, he does a good drop as well. But yeah, they've got wine coolers. They've got the ones that do, your skinny little fancy pulse cans and all that. I use my 4-in-1 every day. Coffee in the morning, beer in the afternoon. But on the Grit and Grind, why it's called the Grit and Grind is I'm a massive Grizzlies fan, and the week can be a bit of a grind. So we're here to help you through your Wednesdays in Australia. It's probably more like Thursday mornings for the Americans. But today we're going to be covering the opening night. And we're going to preview tomorrow's 12 games. We're going to go through who's relevant, but I really don't think that you should be, streaming players just yet. We need to see where all the pieces fall. There's 12 games tomorrow. We'll help you unpack it all. But as you were saying, Daddy Joker, Nuggets 119 defeated the Lakers 107. Let's start with the Lakers. Davis started red hot and then didn't score in the second half. Did absolutely nothing.
No, he was playing very, very well in that. And there was good stretches of the second quarter where it was Jokic and Davis going back and forth against each other. It was fantastic to watch. And then he just went to sleep. He just didn't do anything. I know there was a few boys out there that needed him for 20 points for their multis, and he shit all over it. So sucks for that. But I was very, very impressed with Taurean Prince, actually. That was a beautiful shooting effort. He had 18, 3, an assist, and a block. A good stream for today on 75% shooting with 4 threes. So Taurean had a really good game, but we have to put this out there. No Jared Vanderbilt for the Lakers today. We're going to assume that they're going to do what they did last year. Vanderbilt straight into the starting lineup because we all know that Davis is a bitch and hates playing center. So Vanderbilt normally fills that role. If they're going to try and do what's best for the team, I think Taurean Prince worked beautifully in there. And I would definitely hold Taurean Prince if I had him, just to see what happens when Vanderbilt comes back. Not the first game, because they could you slowly work him in, but he played well. Reeves and D'Angelo Russell. Sorry, you go.
While we're covering that other forward spot, I did find that Rui Hachimura only got 14 minutes. I probably expected a little bit more of a minute split between Taurean Prince. Were they riding the hot hand, or do you think that Rui Hachimura was 3 of 10 in 14 minutes? Taurean Prince was a bit more of a passenger, allowed LeBron to get 16 shots up, Davis to get 17 shots. Both Reeves and Russell get 11 and 12 shots up. You said about fit. Is it just that Hachimura could be a bit of a spark plug off the bench and Taurean Prince is just the better fit?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he was getting killed when he was out there as well, and he was taking some shit shots. So I think, I think the way that Taurean Prince was matching up as well against Jamal Murray kind of like really helped them as well, because Murray started absolutely killing Reeves and D'Angelo Russell later on in the third, and then they put Taurean on him at the start of the fourth, and he went a little bit quieter. So I reckon, it was a bit of a matchup kind of basis kind of thing there. But I mean, Rui was playing horrible, so it could have been either or. But I think it was roughly, Taurean Prince was like well over him in minutes in the first half anyway. So I think the legs are pretty high on him.
Yeah, and they've got him in. Obviously, they wanted to pay him. Look, people that they did pay this year was your boy Austin Reeves, one that we've discussed and argued a little bit about. And I don't know how I can. We still, I don't think, can split it. Reeves was 14 points. 8 rebounds, 4 assists, whereas D'Lo had the 7 assists, so he had more assists, but just 11 points and 4 rebounds. So, it's going to be a bit of a battle there, even on their own team, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I take the win for the Reeves D'Angelo. As if you guys don't know, me and Matty have got a bit of a thing going where he prefers D'Lo. I hate Reeves, but I prefer him for fantasy. I'll take the extra 3 points, the extra rebound to the assist, the extra steal, and a couple of extra free throws.
Assists are harder to get, man.
Mate, I don't care. Like, Reeves had more free throws. I mean, actually, shit, he shot 5 of 7. That's pretty crap. Look, let's agree to disagree. It was tight, and they're both shit as each other, so that's fine.
Look, they're both guys that you should have got around 100 in your draft, so you're not going to be disappointed. Right. You're not going to be disappointed with either. We just like to have discussions about these things.
100%.
ESPN come out and said that LeBron's on minute restrictions of 28 to 30 minutes a night. Look, today, as I have a look at the minutes, LeBron stuck to that. He played 29 minutes. He got 21, 8, and 5, and he did just look like, old LeBron out there, didn't he?
Yeah, he was steamrolling at the start there. Like when he gets that head of steam, no one's getting in front of I think Christian Brown stood in front of him at one point, and he just won him easy as hell. And you're like, what are you doing there, Shags? But hats off to him. But if we're going to see this, I think LeBron was getting picked around like the late 30s, around the 40s as well. If you took him around there, then it's not bad. But if you took him any higher than that, this is warning signs bad. If he's only getting 30 minutes, and you're going to get peak LeBron. So, we'll have to wait and see. The other interesting point about the Lakers for this game, Jackson Hayes came off the bench first before Christian Wood. Even though Wood had more minutes than him, they gave Hayes the nod first. Davis wasn't in foul trouble either, which was a very, very strange point. I don't know why they see that. Maybe they valued Hayes as a better defender than Christian Wood is the only reasonable explanation for it, and they didn't want to get him killed by Jokic. So, that's one to keep an eye on there. If you have Wood, alarm bells there, because we all know his defense is dog shit. So he needs those minutes to get some points.
If you had Wood, you're probably floppy now, and I'm just going to leave that there. Let's get into the Nuggets. Joker Triple-double. First game
What
of
else
the
do you want to
season.
say? What else do you want to say? He's the fucking best in the league, bar none. That's unreal.
Everybody else needs to get out of the gym and go over to Serbia and train horses in the off season because it obviously works.
You want me to tweet there, did you?
Yeah, I did really like that. And just proven why he was the consensus number one pick in fantasy for the second year in the row.
Could you imagine if you decided to be a little bit different? You try to take like Luca or something like that, number one. You see that for the first game, you just go, shit.
Yeah. I don't think too many people did.
Nah, surely not. No one watches this anyway.
Yeah, exactly. KTP got 20 and 3 steals. That sort of 3-and-D guy just proving to be chipping away. I don't think anyone overpaid him for drafts. He's on a lot of waivers. Yeah, he played really well and played a really big role for this team.
Yeah. It seemed like all of the, the Nuggets, like key role players really played well and stepped up this game. KCP, obviously, that's a good line. I mean, he's not going to do it every night, but if you need steals or a couple of threes, he's always a good stream. And he returned a lot of good value today. Even hit the bingo, so that's bloody sensational by him. At 66% shooting as well with 2 threes, and then we look at Murray. Murray was just solid as ever, 21, 6 assists, 2 rebounds, and a nice block. Also shooting at 61%. All of the starters for the Nuggets shot really well, besides obviously Shot Porter Jr., who has never met a shot that he doesn't love. And he it seems like nothing's changed this year because he just shot up every single goddamn shot that he could. So, how about Aaron Gordon, mate?
I was going to say, what I did like about Michael Porter Jr. was the 12 rebounds. That's something that I've never really seen from him. I do wonder if this is a bit of an outlier for this game, the fact that that Davis is maybe a little bit smaller for a center or something along those lines. Maybe he didn't want to be in there at center, but don't expect 12 rebounds every night from Michael Porter Jr.
I think it was more like Jokic. Yeah, I think Jokic was more just like pulling Davis out a lot, which is why Davis had I think he had 2 rebounds till halftime or something like that. Jokic just pushed him out of the paint really well, and then Porter was just flying over the top of everyone else. So the way the Nuggets played really made me have no worries about a championship hangover. Geez, they're going to be good again this year. Fuck, that was some good basketball to watch.
Well, I thought that actually got worse, and I think I'm still right. Like, you can't expect all these starters to shoot at 60% every night. Even Aaron Gordon shot at 63.6%. They just didn't go that deep, and the guys that come off the bench didn't really do anything. It just worries me if they do get an injury that they don't have the cover.
Yeah, no, I agree there as well. I mean, the thing I liked about what the Nuggets did as well is that they didn't have all of the bench guys on at one time. They would have either Murray and Gordon, or Jokic and KCP, along with a couple of the other guys. So they really spaced it out well. Malone coached that beautifully, and that was it was just a masterclass to watch. In all honesty, they pushed the pace when they needed to. They looked like they were in control the whole game. Even when the Lakers started coming back, they never let them get a sizable lead. They just really controlled the whole game so well. And I mean, we can't sit here as well and not mention what everyone's talking about, and that's Reggie Jackson dropping LeBron on that 3, even though he's still on his foot. But still, who cares? Let's give Reggie Jackson his 5 seconds in the sun. Good on you, Reggie.
Mate, I thought you were gonna start going into Aaron Gordon, and please tell me why we should look in every one of our competitions to see if Aaron Gordon's drafted.
Oh yeah, no, he has to be. It's one of those ones as well where he plays such a good role next to Jokic as well. So he had 15, 7, 5, 2 steals, a block, shot at 63%, and hit a 3 as well. We know his only downfall is his free throws, but if he doesn't take free throws, that's a big bloody win. So I also would say hold Gordon as well, because if Jokic goes out, he's going to be playing a bigger role as well. And yeah, if Gordon is on your waiver wire, it's just an add and you got to just keep on seeing how he's going to go, because if he returns stat lines like that, you're not going to be pissed off.
He could be set and forget. I know that he was going later in draft. Just he's not a sexy player anymore. I know in Orlando, like years ago, everybody expected him to be an all-star, a superstar. I think he's just a fantastic, I want to say role player, but he's a fantastic starter on a great team.
Yeah, I agree. He does everything that you need, like a role player to do. So I think he's just like the star role player. That's the best way to put it. But he's not on Jamal Murray or Jokic's spec. But he's
like
bloody good at what he does.
He's like Andre Iguodala.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Obviously not a direct comparison, but it's pretty much, I'm picking up
role wise. And congratulations to Iggy for retiring the other day.
Yeah. What a legend.
Was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of Iggy, he played his best basketball for the Golden State Warriors. They could have used him today. So Suns were defeated. Suns defeated the Golden State Warriors in what was a nail biter in the end.
Yeah.
Booker, 32, 8 and 6. He had, I think, 21, I want to say, at halftime. He repays the owners. He was taken in the first round of some drafts. Yeah. I didn't take him in the first round at all, but I got him in the second round, and I'm extremely happy with that. That's good value, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic. What you want to see from Point Book, 32, 6 and 8. And he only had 4 assists about halfway through the fourth quarter, and then he assisted on the next 4 in a row for the Suns, just showing that he can do it. We do have to just be a little bit cautious here because Beal wasn't playing. So we know Beal's going to want to – well, hopefully Beal doesn't take too many shots away from KD and Book, but it's Beal, and that's all he pretty much does. So wait and see how that goes. But, geez, the fast-paced offense from the Suns was, like, really good to watch, but, God, they shot like crap. My God. Eric Gordon shot 4 of 16. Grayson Allen, 0 of 6. If you picked him up for the day, sucked in, that was a shit pick. 0 of 6 with 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and nothing else. Kevin Durant shot 7 of 22. Let's not expect that anymore. But I think, obviously, with how good Beal played, and he was the obvious star of the night. But Nurkic and Okogie, geez, what great games they played. That was fantastic.
Nurk's been doing this quietly for years. It wasn't that long ago that he was a top 50 player. But people forget when you've been injured for so long. Like you start to see him sliding in drafts. Again, I don't expect him to be on your waiver wire, but at least just, click the players tab and just double check. He was on the waiver wire in one of our comps that only went 120 players deep. Definitely he's 14 and 14 and looked great out there. Small injury concern. I saw him clutching at his shoulder a little bit. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what was going on, but
he stood in front of a drive from, I think it was Wiggins, and he copped one just up in the top, like in the rotator cuff area. Had it laid on the ground a little bit after that. I think he'll be all right. He came back on after, but he spent probably about 5-6 minutes on the bench just getting it looked at. I think he should be good to go next game. If not, Drew Eubanks, he would look very good coming off the bench there for the Suns. If Nurkic goes down, snap up Eubanks immediately. That is a good source of rebounds and blocks.
You know what? He looked better than the box score. Like if you didn't get it's relatively easy. I know I go home and I can watch 2 games while the missus Farmer Wants a Wife or whatever's on. But I can watch 2 games. But on those ones that there's 12 games on and you maybe don't get the opportunity, I think that you'd look at that stat line and see, one of 3 shooting in 19 minutes, 7 rebounds, 2 assists and 3 blocks, and thinking that he had a quiet game. He looked really good out there. So he's passing the eye test. And so did just blokes like Yuta Watanabe and Eric Gordon did what he always shoots 25%. But these bench guys from the Suns were a lot better than I expected. We've seen Drew do good things when given the opportunity, but The eye test is maybe this guy in 20 minutes could be a play in deeper formats.
I agree. I want to see it on the next game because he was only versing Dario Saric, who is a little bit shorter than him, not as strong as him, and tries to use more of a floor spacing kind of role. So he wasn't really contesting Eubanks for rebounds. But I'm right on that train with you, and I'm keeping a solid eye on him on that next game that the Suns play.
Look, I don't think that there's too much we need to talk about apart from your boy Grayson Allen. It's actually Owen. It's actually Owen Allen. Sorry, because he was 0-6 today.
God, he's a flog.
Yeah. Look, I hope you don't trip up on that one.
I'm never tripping up on that piece of shit after he broke Caruso's arm.
But Eric Gordon took 16 shots, so I suppose the opportunity is there.
No Beal though.
No Beal though, yeah. So
31,
let's see what happens.
Minutes. Yeah.
Golden
What about
State
Okogie?
Warriors.
What do you think about Okogie though? Just quietly.
17-5-1. He's probably on your waivers. That's the best game he's ever played, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. By far.
I sort of thought that Cater Bates Diop might get some minutes in that Okogie role, but look, I don't expect him to get 32 minutes every night. I think they kept him out there because he was just a hustler. He was out there. He was pumping his boys up. His energy got them through that really dark patch where they started to drop off to the Suns. They got up quite high early. Suns came back, and then Okogie pulled him back with his energy.
Yeah, he really he defended Steph pretty well as well. Like he was keeping in front of him as well as you can. But then, obviously Steph Steph'd. But I thought Okogie's defense was really, really good. And then just surprisingly, I think he had 3-and-1s in this game and then hit a very clutch 3 right at the end of the fourth, at the end of the shot clock. So, it was a sensational game from him. I mean, shit, if you're thinking about picking up Okogie, let's just wait and see when Beal gets back. I think he will be the other starter. I thought it was going to be a bit of I was on the same page as you with Cater Bates Diop or maybe even Nasir Little. But if Okogie can play like that and be just that spot up and then slasher when need be and then play great defense, he's the perfect one to sit alongside Beal, KD, and Book. So, we'll keep an eye on that.
Because they're not super deep. And to be honest, Nasir Little will probably start next week. He hasn't missed a shot this year yet. He's 1 of 1 in 2 minutes and 53 seconds. So
I'm just feeling, man, I was going to pick him up like 2 years ago when he played for Portland, and then he had his shoulder injury. I was like, damn, he has a nice little like fantasy game, but he's just been smacked by it. So, I doubt he'll get a shot here on Phoenix as well.
Look, let's go on to the Golden State Warriors because we've still got 12 teams to talk about. I could talk to you about NBA all night, mate. But I'm also starving. Steph Curry, 27-5-1 on 40%. Look, that's great. Maybe not great for those people that took him top 5 because CP3 got a lot of Steph's usual assists. CP3 still played 34 minutes for 14 inefficient points, but the 9 assists are probably what I saw come away from Steph. Tell me about Steph, CP3, what you see with their roles coming forward.
Yeah, I thought the same thing that you saw. I mean, the offense didn't look like the Warriors of old, and I don't know if that's because they were trying to integrate CP3 into it, or if they didn't have Draymond. It just seemed like there wasn't as much movement as there normally is. They did a couple of pick and rolls with Wiggins, how he butchered so many layups. Wiggins was, 4 of 12, and I reckon 5 of his misses were layups at the ring, like that weren't contested either. So I don't know if they were trying to integrate him a bit more, what it was, but their offense looked a lot more stagnant at times, and then the next one they'd come out and they just do this fast-paced offense where Steph's just doing some crazy bullshit that he always does. I think the ball seemed like it was fairly split. So if we're going to expect that, then Steph down on assists, and he is going to be more into that shooting guard role. And then Chris Paul's going to be more of the point guard. But I want to see what happens when Dre's back. I can't see them always playing with, like, not starting Kevon Looney because Dre's 6'8", 6'9". What if they come up against Jokic? He's going to feast.
Yeah. Look, I agree with you. I think that they'll nearly try and back Dre, but Looney's gonna get his minutes. Look, we're talking about Looney. Kevon Looney will always be a rebound streamer in my eyes. 7-11. The great news for guys that did bring him in this week was the fact that he didn't get to the free throw line because he is like he makes me look like Steph Curry from the free throw line, to be honest. We were chatting about Wiggins. Wiggins was benched down the stretch. He was really disappointing. And he was minus 22 in his plus minus out there. Just awful. No counting. Oh, 1 rebound and 1 block in 27 minutes. So let's call it no counting stats. Absolutely dog shit.
You'll take the block.
Yeah. I mean, you'll take it. You're still disappointed with the fact that you drafted him at 95.
Yeah. Me being one of those blokes, I really thought that his rebounds were going to spike with having to play more power forward. But no, he decided to be a coward and let the 6-foot guards out-rebound him by 500%. So there you go. But, I thought...
It's just one game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, absolutely. And then also Clay, who had 15, 7, 3, and 1. Nice to see Clay with some counting stats. That's a nice little surprise, although he screws you with field goal percentage, where he had 33%, shot 6 of 18, which really hurts. 3 threes, you'd take that. So
he was cold as fuck in the first.
Oh, shocking, wasn't he? I mean, I think even when he hit his first 3, he was like, thank God. Like, I think it took him 5 shots or so. So, the Warriors have a bit to just work out. They really turned it on in that third quarter and looked a lot better. But it didn't look like the Warriors we're used to be seeing, especially against a Phoenix team that really doesn't have a lot of defense. So, and then anything from the bench? Is there anything that tickled your fancy there?
We're gonna have to move along to these other games, but all I just say that like Kuminga and Moody almost cancel each other out. If they just had one of those guys on the bench, then I think that we could get somebody really, really manageable for fantasy. And Dario Saric looked actually quite good watching him with the eye test. But again, much like you Drew Eubanks, by the time you come on and have a look at the fact that he only scored, 7 and 7, look, probably just not worth an ad. And once Dre comes in, that role's going to be diminished.
Yep, agreed. Just quickly, don't expect those steal outputs from the Warriors. I know Moody got 3 and Kuminga got 2 and Payton got 3. Phoenix's ball movement was just shit house halfway through the third there. They were just turning everything over. It's like they weren't 100% on what they were doing yet. They'll get better at that. And, those steal numbers aren't going to be like that every game.
All right, man. There's 12 games tomorrow, and we don't really need stream options just yet. But let's chat about some things we're excited to see and some stuff that we're going to keep an eye on for fantasy. The first game, Atlanta versus Charlotte, and I believe it's the first game due to time zones. But I'm interested in watching Sadiq Bey, Jalen Johnson, Bogdan, and Hunter's minutes. Who do you think is going to get the bulk of the minutes there between that small forward and power forward?
Bulk of the minutes, I think the start will go to Bey and Hunter because that's what they did in that last preseason game where Johnson and Bogey both played as well. I think that Bogey will get the majority of the minutes there. But I don't feel confident about that. It just depends on the size where they're going up against the Hornets. So I think it would be, Bogey and Hunter would be getting the bulk of the minutes there over Johnson and Bey.
I'm going the other way. I think that Bay's going to get the bulk of the minutes. I think Bogey's going to play that bench role where he also slides across and, does a bit of bench point guard things. Hunter's just going to get minutes. That's right. But
Yeah,
I
he does
don't think
cardio.
he's
That's
not going to
it.
be that relevant.
No.
All right. Okongwu versus Capella. Give me your case. Fantasy this year, not who you think's better. My bad. Fantasy this year, who do you want?
Well, I would take a Okongwu because if he starts shooting threes like he was doing in the preseason, he's basically on par with Capella. But if he can shoot threes, then he just easily surpasses Capella. So he'll, for the fantasy year, I'll take a Okongwu easily. Ship Capella off.
Yeah. And there was, a little bit of chatter about maybe Memphis looks at somebody like Capella or Robert Williams III to replace Steven Adams. So
which one
we've
would
got
you
a bit
choose?
of money.
Being a Memphis fan, who would you choose, Robert Williams or Capella? And Robert Williams' asking price is a bit higher.
Capella.
Righto.
If it gets me if I have to use a second round pick instead of a first round pick, maybe.
Okay, fair enough. I like it.
With Charlotte, there's a lot of moving pieces. I'm not going to get into the Miles Bridges. We'll be able to do that in a couple of weeks' time when he's due back. But I'm excited to see how Charlotte uses PJ Washington. Just to see the makeup of that team. There's a bit of a log jam at center. They have used PJ Washington at center in the past. I think LaMelo and Terry Rozier will be good. But yeah, it's just to see if he plays a little bit of that center, a little bit of that power forward. He is a piece that they need firing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And he's a player that can go really hot or really cold. So, hopefully he's fine this one. I wouldn't expect him in a lot of center this game just because Hawks do have Okongwu and Capella. So they're both bigger centers with good athleticism. I think they're going to need Richards and Mark Williams to really be firing and switched on. I see that the line is currently Atlanta 3.5. Where are you going?
I'm going Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm taking Atlanta as well at the line.
All right, I won't write that down. We'll do it. We'll do a little bit of a bolter bet for a for a little 4-pack or something there as we go through. And if this becomes a weekly thing, I'm going to enjoy my beers and my humble pie. Look,
we'll see how that goes.
Washington versus Indiana next. Interested to see how this high-octane, exciting Washington team looks. Pacers were actually one of the worst defensively last year. So it could be a bit of a shootout the way that you see, the way that Poole plays. I think it'll be tied to who holds the ball for starters. Like, Tyus Jones is such a steady, calculated guard, whereas Poole is high octane, a little bit of a hot head, will just jack up shots, will take the 30% chance of getting an assist to score on. He's a lot more exciting to watch, but Tyus is going to slow things down, keep it going. I think it could be determined about who holds the ball for the majority of the time, which might be a weird take, but
no, I think you're absolutely spot on there. The only other thing that we got to throw in there is that there's also Kuzma on this team who also loves to be a hothead and shoot the ball as much as he can. So I think Denny Avdia is going to be pissed off pretty much this whole season that he's going to be open and just not get the ball. It's going to be the Kuz and the Poole show. So I'm here for it. Can't wait to see how this is going to turn out for him.
Yeah, I think if it does, like some of the guys on your waiver wire, and you've mentioned him already, is that Denny Avdia and your Corey Kispert. Like, they are guys that could be possible pickups in that Tyus Jones world where he holds the ball, where he slows things down, where Corey Kispert is taking wide open shots from the corner because the attention's elsewhere. Danny Avdia always going to be a steal streamer, but yeah, this new makeup of this team, I'm not sure who to make of it, and basically everybody else will be rostered except for Avdia and Kispert.
Yeah, I actually don't like either of them. I think the only people that are going to be fantasy relevant this year for the Wizards, besides streams, are Jones, Poole, Kuzma, and Gafford. I think unless people get injured, I don't want to have any of them because Kismet needs the ball. He's not going to get any shots because he doesn't do fuck all else. And Avdia, he can get some rebounds and steals and stuff, but he gets some nice assists, but he's never going to get the ball. So, yeah, that's it for the Wizards. And I can't wait to see how this goes tomorrow because it could be fireworks or it could be an absolute train wreck. And I'm so here for it.
I actually love to watch a train wreck. I'm flying to Fiji tomorrow, and I really hope I get I really hope I have Wi-Fi on the plane so that I can watch some of these. But interested to see the minutes between Jarris and Obi for Indiana.
Yes.
I think we know what we're going to get. I think Hallie's going to have a fantastic year, maybe even Shay-like from last year. But Jarris and Obi are the ones that are probably on your waiver wire, and you're going to see Jarris probably had the better preseason, would you say?
Yeah, I think Jarris had a bloody good first game, and then Obi had a pretty good last game. Yeah, I'm interested to see it. I think that Jarris has the better fantasy game, but I think Obi will get the nod with more minutes to start. So I'm interested to see how that goes. I'm also interested to see what happens with Buddy Hield on this Indiana team. They played him in the preseason. Benedict Mathurin obviously started. He's requested a trade, but still playing Buddy Hield. So I want to see what's going on there. If they're going to give him, give Benedict most of the minutes and then Buddy off the bench. So, and then also Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown is going to be very interesting to watch how he's going to start out here in Indiana. So, yeah, this will be a good test to see how they start off against the Wizards. Hallie probably going to get a double quite easily, I would say.
He could be assist leader this year if Indiana can make their shots.
I've got him for assist leader.
Yeah, cool.
I think he'll do it quite well, actually. The line.
What's the line?
So, line, yeah. Line. Indiana minus 7.5.
I'm going to take Washington.
Shit, I was thinking about doing that. Just be a bit sideways, but no, I'm going Indy.
All right, cool. I've got it down on the thing. Let's have a look at Boston versus New York. Are there any injuries in this? Sorry, I've meant to be thrown over for you. This is new for us too, guys.
Yeah, sorry, we're getting the boys far out. We're trying our best here. Nick's clean bill of health, and Boston, Al Horford's game time decision, but fuck, he's always going to be game time decision. He'll play this one. He only doesn't play on back-to-backs.
Yep. Let's have a look at. They're both good teams. There's probably a bit of value in the Knicks. Boston have some moving parts. It'll be interesting. Maybe there'll be some teething issues to start. My question is, who's going to be the fifth guy in Boston?
The other starter?
Yep. No, not the other starter. Who's going to be the most productive?
Oh, the most productive. So outside of Porzingis, Brown, Tatum, and Holiday?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be White. It's easily going to be White there. I think he plays pretty well off of Tatum and Brown, and he's such a good defender for a guard. But then again, they don't have it. Like Boston don't have anyone else. They have Al Horford, who's almost dead. They've got Peyton Pritchard, who's 6'1" and got the physique like me, kind of, but more athletic and better at everything.
But not as nice of a beard.
I've got him covered in beard. I would say. I think he can't even grow.
And body hair in general, I heard. So,
mate, stop looking at me in the shower. But then they got Hauser, no Brissett, no jeez, they're so top heavy, the Celtics. So I'm keen to see how they all work together. I think they can work together as well. Pretty well. They're some good two-way players that play on this team. So I'm very interested to see how Boston roll out tomorrow. But I think White starts, gets bulk minutes, and then Horford plays that extra kind of role. They just kind of switch in these six.
Yeah, I've taken Horford deep in some leagues, so I expect him to be productive. But when I have a look at the Knicks, like Mitchell Robinson was on waivers in some leagues. I've picked him up on
That's
waivers
outrageous.
in 2 leagues, and he should not be.
No.
He doesn't shoot free throws well. He doesn't get you any assists or steals or anything like that. But he's still a really good player that, is always a chance of a double-double. He's going to get you some blocks. And I don't think Hartenstein's coming for his minutes. So check your waiver wires for Mitchell Robinson. And I will watch how Quentin Grimes and Emmanuel quickly come off the bench, because I still think the 6th man is going to be between one of those guys. See who grabs it by the balls and see if there's a waiver wire pick up there.
You don't think it'll be Josh Hart?
I think Josh Hart will do what Josh Hart does.
Yeah.
All the time. I don't think there's any room to grow from Josh Hart's age, from what he gives. I love Josh Hart. You could put my face on a t-shirt talking about Josh Hart with how much I've talked about him and how much I like his out of position. I love his out of position rebounds a lot, but I don't think he's going to be any better at any further point in his career than he is right now.
Yep, I can say that.
What's the line?
We got Boston -3.
Okay, you can call it first this time because I called it last time.
I'd like the Knicks.
Yeah, I'm going the Knicks too. So let's just rule that one out. Houston versus Orlando, and if we thought that Indiana and Washington could be anything, this actually could be anything.
Oh yeah.
Are there any injuries?
Yes. So Tari Eason and Victor Oladipo are both out for the Rockets, and Gary Harris is game time decision for the Magic. I don't think he'll play, but you'd never really know. They haven't really given much away yet. So yeah, this will be a really, really interesting game. I can't wait to see this new Houston team. I mean, Freddie VanVleet in, Dylan Brooks in. They're both very bad field goal percentage players.
They have the worst field goal percentage. Yep. They are both the worst field goal percentage shooter with over 1,000 shots, and they add them to a team with Jalen.
That is outrageous. There could be more missed shots than Phoenix had today. That is crazy to think about.
Yeah, they could have more misses than an Arabian Prince, I think.
Oh, very good from you. They have a lot.
Yes, exactly.
Actually, no,
yeah, there could be a lot going on. There could be a lot of rebounds to go around. Interested to see in Smith Jr. To see his role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Şengün. I just really hope that Şengün gets the opportunity that we hoped that he had last year. That we hoped that he would get last year that he never really got.
Yeah, I agree there. He could really look good this year. Obviously, he's such a good all-round player, and I just hope that the Rockets realize that and are able to show that off. I'm worried that Fred's going to because obviously they didn't have a point guard last year.
No.
So because they had KPJ.
Yep.
Yeah, thank God he's gone, the piece of shit. And I'm a little bit. I want to see how they're going to run their offense. It's going to be very, very interesting to watch. I don't think and Amen Thompson, can't wait to see Amen Thompson coming off the bench. I think he's going to be the outright 6th man now, especially with Tari not playing. And KPJ is gone. So, yeah, can't wait to see him, man. He's going to be a hell of a player. So, hopefully they give him
some. Orlando, we've got that real logjam at guard, don't we? So we've got Fultz, we've got Suggs. It's really hard to see what they're gonna do. Like even Wagner could be one of those really, really good, I suppose, guards. So when I have a look at these guys, I think that the opportunity is going to go to Fultz because he is the better defender. But yeah, you're just going to have to wait and see what we get from Orlando as we head into Cleveland and Brooklyn. Look, when I had a look at Cleveland, there was only really 4 guys owned from Cleveland. You've got your Garlands, you've got your Donovan Mitchells, you've got your Van Mobleys, and you've got Jarrett Allen. Jarrett Allen is ruled out tonight. Ricky Rubio won't be playing as well. Garland's apparently a game time decision. Niang is starting. I know that he's been copping a little bit of slack for the for where he's come into the photo shoot, looking a little bit like me with the dad bod. But yeah, Niang looks fantastic there.
The minivan. Oh, what a man.
Yeah, he looks a bit like me with his shirt off, I reckon.
You know me, I'm a massive Cavs fan, and I could not be more proud of seeing that man represent the Cleveland Cavaliers, because far out, that is an absolute rig.
And starting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I would assume that he's going to start, with Strus and without Allen. So,
yep,
that's going to be a bloody interesting game tomorrow. I am very worried about how that's going to go for the Cavs tomorrow. I think the size of the nets may be a little bit too much for the Cavs without Allen, but we'll see how that goes. It's a good opportunity to see how good Mobley is going to be if he's the starting center.
I think the thing with Brooklyn is, yes, they're going to be extremely hard to score on. And you have a look at their starting lineup with your Ben Simmons, your Dinwiddies, your Mikal Bridges, and your Nick Claxtons, and your Finney Smith. But they've got to score some points at some stage. I really expected Cam Johnson to be there in that starting lineup. He still could be, but look, Cam Johnson's going to get some opportunities to score a lot of buckets. But yeah, like there's so much defense out there. I actually like Dinwiddie off the ball. I think that Ben Simmons will be like I don't hate it. I don't hate it for the Brooklyn Nets. Maybe not so much for fantasy, but yeah. I think that he'll get I think he'll get a lot more points at shooting guard.
So like the same kind of thing as how he was doing it in Dallas with Luka. I can see that too. Yeah.
He was good.
Yeah.
He was good.
Yep.
Let's head across to Minnesota versus Toronto. And I just got that new book on Toronto by Alex Wong, so I'm excited to read that. But anything that we heard about Scotty Barnes being injured, it looks like he's playing, looks like he's starting. Dennis Schroeder will be starting at point guard, though. I know that Scotty's come out to the press and said he wants to be a point guard. There's no real backup point guard, so we presume that there might be a little bit of a job share there. But Toronto looked pretty good with Schroeder, Anunoby, Barnes, Siakam, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Yeah. What
unreal.
What do you?
Unreal.
What do you? Do you think anybody? Yeah, no, underrated. How funny I am. I'm glad that he's laughing, and lucky it's not alive, because everybody would be in stitches. But Gary Trent Jr., you've got Grady Dick, and you've got Chris Boucher. Out of anyone on the bench there, do you see anybody viable to pick up outside of starting lineup? And Schroeder isn't even rostered in that many leagues. So
I like Cock.
Yeah, you like Grady Dick?
No, I hate Grady Dick, but I just like Cock. I think Schroeder could return some pretty good fantasy value. Maybe a couple of assists. You get some good points. He's a pretty good scorer, as we saw what he did on the Lakers when people get out of his way. We know Boucher can put up some fantasy points if he gets the opportunity, but we know that, he's not as great of an NBA player as he is in fantasy. So he's not going to get the minutes because Pirtle's there. So, I can't. I know Trent's been drafted in a few leagues, and I don't even like Trent anymore now that Schroeder's probably going to take majority of his minutes. So this Raptors team, again, it's like the Magic and it's like the Rockets. It's just an absolute goddamn logjam. So Yeah, no, these are all the questions that we have answered. We can give our best take on who we know is a good producer for fantasy, but we have to. It's not up to us. It's up to the coaches and how much they play and how they play. So, yeah.
So when we have a look at Minnesota, it looks like Jaden McDaniels is out. So
Yeah, he's out. He's not playing.
Yeah, so I think Kyle Anderson will get those uptick of minutes. You've got your Mike Conleys, you've got your Anthony Edwards, which was a consensus second round pick. We have your Karl Anthony Towns and your Rudy Gobert. I think Minnesota could be in a bit of strife this year.
In a bit of strife, you reckon?
Yeah, I think they could be ordinary.
I can see that. I mean, their record was a little bit better once Mike Conley got there, when they got rid of D'Lo shot chucking. So, I don't know. I think they'll be around the mark. I reckon they'll be play-ins again this year. And, yeah, that's – I mean, I don't know. They haven't got much – they get Shake Milton to come in as a backup point guard, like, I guess. That's great. They re-signed Naz Reid, so that's good.
Yeah, there's not much going on there, and there's not too much to pick up. I know people have been picking up Naz Reid, but I think when it comes to actual games, when it comes to game time, Naz Reid, like they might even play Karl Anthony Towns at a bit of center as opposed to getting Naz Reid much more than 18, 20 minutes a night.
Yeah, I agree. I think Naz Reid can actually play next to Towns, though. So I can see him like one of them two running the power forward, and then while the other one runs the center. So, yeah, I can see that. But most importantly, Toronto -1. Where are you going with this one, mate? Because I got no fucking idea.
Raptors for me.
I'm going Minnesota.
Raptors for Matty -1. That's good value.
All
right. To quote the great Rob Kennedy, we move on and we are looking at OKC versus Chicago.
Oh, excited for this one, Matty. I can't wait to see Chet.
And look, who's he going to be defended by? Patrick Williams? It could be a really good battle.
I think it will be. Yeah, I think it will be Pat Williams. I don't think Vucevic can run with him. He's obviously got the strength on him, but shit, Vooch can't get up that much anymore. So I think Chet could have a game.
I've traded for Chet preseason. And yeah, there's so many OKC people owned in your leagues because everybody's high on getting these high upside guys. But there probably is a bit of value on your waiver wire because in some cases, there is only 3 Chicago Bulls rostered in 144 player leagues. So you start to look at your Kobe Whites, you start to look at who's going to get the minutes at guard because Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Vucevic are all getting on in age. They're not going to play 40 minutes a night. So there's going to be opportunities, and watching this game might have you being first for some fantasy absolute gold.
Yep, I agree there. I want to see, my main thing that I want to watch in this game is what the hell goes on with DeMar DeRozan, because in the preseason, he wasn't getting as many shots. I think he was getting like maybe 33% shots less than LaVine, and almost equivalent as White. So I want to see what the hell's going on with DeMar here because, geez, this might not be good for DeMar. He might be on his way out of Chicago as well. So
DeMar, I see it. The less I hate it. So
nice one, Drake.
Look, let's duck in to the Pelicans versus my Grizzlies.
Whoa.
What's the line? What's the line?
Whoa. OKC -1.
Yeah, Chicago.
Really? I'm going OKC.
Yep. Cool.
Yep. Lovely.
Let's have a look at my Grizzlies. And Sandy Aldama's out, which was looking to be a main beneficiary of the fact that Steven Adams was out. It looks like Tillman will get a bump from that, and maybe a Zaire Williams as well. unless they start to slide around, your Derek Rose at point guard and start to move Bain down to the small forward. I think X will get 30 minutes, which means that he should be rostered in all formats.
Yep. I definitely agree with that. I think that's a lock to have Tillman to be drafted somewhere. So, yep, love that call. My question is, Zaire Williams, are you going to have a go? Would you have a go at him if you had a free roster spot? Because I think he would be the most inclined player that I would take out of tomorrow's games if I had a free roster spot.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to have a go today, but I think that you could get 10 minutes into this game and you could just be adding him.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. Because I'm
It's
a
just
little
not
bit worried
worth
about Roddy.
Yeah, look, Roddy didn't look fantastic. Looked a little bit overweight. Zaire was
Always
taken a lot higher than Roddy as well. They're probably a little bit higher. Yeah, look, and like you're not going to see like a Kenny Lofton or anything like that play any meaningful minute. Yeah, I think that Zaire is going to be if he's probably not starting, but I do think that we'll see a bit of Zaire this year. He has the opportunity to grow anyway in this team.
Sweet. Well, then I'm not taking him with a free roster spot. So sweet. Thank you.
You can. You're probably in a lot of leagues with me as well.
Sure.
Yeah, there's not too much I want to look at with the Pelicans because, look, we know that Trey Murphy's out. Jose Alvarado's out. Some guys will get a bump, but once they're back, that'll be there.
All right. So Memphis and who have the Pelicans? So
The Pelicans.
who are you taking?
What's the line?
Well, they haven't got the line out yet, so let's just say it's 50-50 straight down the guts because
I'm going Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis, I thought you were. That's why I'm going Pelicans.
Excellent. I'll take that. Let's head into Sacramento and the Jazz. This could be another team, like especially the Jazz, where Taylor Horton-Tucker is expected to start at point guard. Still small forward shooting guard eligible. Look, you'd love if he got point guard eligibility, but your Johnny Collins is intriguing. We know what you're going to get good results out of Markkanen and Kessler, but there could be a bit of value out there for some guys starting that aren't even in your picks. Do you like John Collins or Taylor Horton-Tucker or even either a Jordan Clarkson in some builds?
I like Clarkson in some builds, for where you'd pick him around like, the 130s or whatnot, because he still might get you 20 points per game. Collins, I think. I mean, that's why I want to see how this team rolls out, because Kelly Olynyk kind of fell into the background a little bit last year with the Jazz, but he was still bloody influential with his threes and his assists. But I don't think Collins has that kind of impact. So I'm keen to see this. I think Collins can still return a little bit, but I'm very keen to see how the Jazz roll out and Larry Markkanen.
So with the Kings, they had a fantastic year last year.
Yep.
You've got
Best
Fox.
You've got.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Didn't, I suppose, succeed in the playoffs, but they'll be better for it. Look, is there anybody on Sacramento's sort of bench waiver wire pickups that we're going to be keeping an eye on? Maybe a Malik Monk or anyone like that?
Monk's the only one. I think he's a flamethrower. He can get you those points, same as what Clarkson does, but he doesn't get you much else. But that can be valuable if you need points. So Monk's the one to watch there. But that's about it. We've got, we have another tight line. Good Lord. Sacramento minus 1.5, Matty.
I'll let you pick first.
Okay, I'm taking the Kings at minus 1.5.
Yeah, I'll take the Jazz. I'll get spicy with it.
Okay, I like it.
All right. Let's head into Dallas versus the Spurs, and what I want to watch is how the center minutes pan out. They've said that Derek Lively's going to start. I've actually liked Rickon Holmes in the past. I just want to see what happens. Whether Derek Lively starts and then comes off and plays a lot less minutes, We've still got Powell there. He's been there for years and years. Look, that's where I think the opportunity is going to come with this Dallas team.
Complete respect for you for not going the way of every single other person and not starting this with how I can't wait to watch how Wemby goes tomorrow. So credit to you, Mattrix. That's fantastic. I'm interested to see how this lineup goes because, Lively, Power, Holmes, who bloody knows? So I guess Jason Kidd probably doesn't even know yet. And the one to watch there is obviously, does Luka Doncic play? We know that he had that injury in preseason. So if he doesn't play, Jaden Hardy is a definite pickup for the game. And while Luke is not in there, so I'm also keen to see our Aussie boy Josh Green. I just want to see how he fits in. I want to see how his role goes if he's a starting small forward there because I don't think Prosper played very well at all. So I want to see how Joshy Green rolls into this team.
I think Kyrie gets a massive bump too with Luka out. So
yeah. I mean, Hardy demands a lot. He'll demand a lot of the ball just because that's the type of player he is, even though he's a second-year player. It's a massive boost everywhere for Kyrie.
Look, okay, let's get into the Spurs and let's talk about the hot topic in the NBA. Jeremy Sohan. He's going to be starting at point guard. I know I said on my last show with G, Trey Jones definitely isn't a drop. In 17 minutes, he got more assists than Sohan. I think that this is a little bit of an experiment and Trey Jones is the better point guard. But all eyes will be on Victor Wembanyama. Zach Collins is a game-time decision, which might move Sohan back down to a power forward anyway, and you have to force a Wemby to center. Look, there's a lot of things that could happen, but just enjoy the glory that is Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, I agree. Can't wait to see him go out there. He's an absolute alien. So, I'll be watching this game with all intent. I also kind of want to see what the hell happens with Keldon Johnson, just because I don't think he does anything else besides score the ball, and he doesn't do that very well. So with Wemby there, he probably doesn't get as much, and I don't know how he really fits in anymore. But I'm with you. I think Trey Jones is still the point guard there. So so that's how I'm waiting to see. I can't wait to see how this San Antonio team all shapes up. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. We have the line Dallas -4, an interesting line there with Luka maybe not playing. What are you thinking, Matty?
Yeah, I'm taking Dallas.
Taking Dallas? Damn. I thought I was going to be able to suck you into that. Yeah, I'll also take Dallas and bank on Luka playing.
Don't stress. We'll leave that one. And we get into our last game, Portland versus the Clippers. Clippers are another one of those teams that there's only 4 people owned in most of your waivers. Look, of course, there's your Westbrooks, there's your PGs, there's your Kawhi Leonard, Zubac is mainly could be an opportunity for people like your Norman Powell and that to get some buckets, for Rocco to get some blocks, for Plum Dog Millionaire to get some minutes. Is there anyone that you're targeting on the Clippers?
Yes, there is actually. Robert Covington is apparently going to be the starter for the Clippers, and he's overtaking whichever one of the Morris twins plays there. If he starts, he can get steals, blocks, threes, rebounds. It's a good source of all those extra categories. So if he actually does get the minutes and gets the starting nod, then shit, I'm in. I'll have a swing on Covington again just to see if he can return that for me. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think Portland will be good?
I think they will be competitive, but I'm not sure if they'll be good. I don't think they'll be a 500 team this year. But I think with Scoot and Simons and Ayton, I think they'll be competitive. Hopefully Ayton turns his attitude around because he was shit in Phoenix. Couldn't get a rebound, just didn't want to be there, didn't want to look like he played basketball, just wanted to go out and chase black BBLs every night. So, Yeah, I'm interested to see how he goes. I think he's got a lot of talent. It's just if he wants to do it.
Yeah,
What are
and
yours?
look, it's going to be interesting to watch. I think that we will see a lot of just shots getting jacked by Henderson and Anthony Simons, and just see what happens. Aiton isn't that worker in there, and maybe a Robert Williams or somebody like that will be able to dig out that role and become a worker and do the dirty work while these guys take all those flashy shots and Jeremy Grant sits in the corner and makes his shot. Look, it'll be interesting. But there is the opportunity for some people from Portland to,
Yeah.
I suppose, get a role. Your Robert Williams the third. I saw him dropped in one league. I wouldn't be rushing out to get a Matisse Thybul or somebody like that. Shaden Sharp should take a lot of high quality shots if the offense gets moving correctly. But yeah, we've just got to see what happens. And I think your best bet is to not add anybody from Portland, but watch the game and see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. You've got to see how this lineup turns out first before we start making any of those rash decisions. As we say, it doesn't matter about these first couple of games. You just got to watch and research and take your notes and figure it out from there. Because remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint.
But if you can get on, I know that I added Desmond Bain about 10 minutes into his first game in that breakout year, kept him for the whole year. Like, if you're watching, don't be afraid just to add a guy. Like, if it looks like
Exactly right.
Matisse Thybul is going to be playing 40 minutes a night and getting 5 steals a game, or some outlier that nobody expected, just get out there, just add him and see what happens. Hey.
Yeah, don't be afraid to take those risks in this first week. Like, if you lose it, you lose it. It gives a shit. We're looking for the long haul.
All right, let's wrap it up. Oh, the line. Tell me.
The line. Clippers -9.5. Jesus, they get no respect from Portland.
What?
-9.5. I kind of I like Clippers. I'll take the disrespect. Fuck it.
Fuck, I was going to take the Clippers. That's why I was trying to tell you. I'll take Portland. I'll take Portland. Let's go.
All
right, mate. It's been a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you soon. I'm going to Fiji for a week, so the boys will tie it over for me.
Yeah, enjoy Fiji, you lucky bastard. This was a great time, and hopefully you can work on that tan, and don't get too pissed with all the rugby boys over there.
I will do. You're listening to the Insight Fantasy Sports Podcast. Cheerio.